Hello everyone, welcome to this video. In this video we're going to be taking our graphics page example and redefining the objects in C# as opposed to using the XAML side. So here's our app in its current working state where we've got a content page.resources tag that allows us to initialize an instance of CircleMaker class, giving it the name BlueCircle. And then we're assigning that instance of BlueCircle into the drawable area of our graphics view. So this allows us to draw a circle into the area specified by the graphics view. And we've got our toggle square button that determines whether or not we want to draw a square around our circle. Now if we look at the code behind this page, the CircleMaker object is retrieved from the drawable property of our graphics view element. We reverse its has square property. So if this was true, it's set to false and vice versa. And then finally, we invalidate the graphics view so that it draws itself again. Our CircleMaker class draws the circle onto the rectangle. And if has square property is true, it also draws the square onto the canvas for us. So in XAML, when we wanted to create an instance of CircleMaker, we had to do three things. The first was we had to bring in the namespace. So the namespace week4 practices.service is the namespace of my project and then the subfolder that my CircleMaker class is located in. If I bring CircleMaker out, we can see that that's the namespace in which it's located. So step one is referencing the namespace. Step two is creating the instance. Now our CircleMaker class does not have a constructor, which means that when we construct a new CircleMaker, we just use the default built-in C# one. When we instantiate it here inside our list of page resources, assigning the key is what gives that instance its name or its reference. So essentially, we're calling a new instance of the CircleMaker class here. And third, we're going to assign that instance, which we've named BlueCircle, to the drawable property. Now, in order for us to recreate all of this in the C#, I'm going to remove all of those pieces that we put into our XAML page. So we'll remove the namespace, the declaration, and the graphics view itself. And we could also choose to remove the button if need be, but I'm just going to leave it there for now. One thing that I do want to make sure to do is to give our vertical stack layout a name. That way, later when we want to programmatically add elements to this vertical stack layout, we'll be able to do so. Now let's go back to our code behind page. I said we need to do 3 steps. Our first step is to make sure that the using statement is available. So we're going to point this using statement to the namespace that contains our CircleMaker class, week4 practice.services in this case. It is already there because we were referencing CircleMaker class from our button click event. But if it's not already there, make sure you include that. That's your first step. Our second step is to create the instance of the CircleMaker object. And I'm going to do this at class level so we can use the same instance throughout the entire class. And our third step is generating the instance of the CircleMaker class and assigning it to the drawable property of our graphics view. So we'll instantiate the instance here. And now we need to create our graphics view. So we'll declare the object. And again, if you notice down here, we're referencing the graphics view in a different method. And that means that this graphics view needs to be accessible at class level so that we can use it again in the button click event. I'm going to make sure that our definitions are above at class level. We'll set the properties of our graphics view. We have a width request, 800. And the height request for 300. And we need to set the drawable to our blue circle instance. So this is what connects the instance of our helper class to the drawable area of our graphics view. Now all we need to do is add the graphics view to our page. Now one other thing that I wanted to mention, down here in our button click event, when we want access to the circle maker instance, that is the drawable area of our graphics view, we had to retrieve it through the graphics view. But now that we've got it defined here at class level, we don't need to perform this assignment and get another reference to the same instance of Circle Maker. So we can make our button click event a little bit more efficient by removing this line of code. And instead of using our local reference, we can use our class level reference. So here's our app with our blue circle, we can toggle the square on and off by clicking the button just as we could before. The only thing you might notice is the order of elements has reversed because the button here is declared in the XAML and the graphics view is not declared and added until after. And we can change the order of the elements by using an insert method here instead of add and specifying at which position we want the graphics view to go in. So if I change add to insert, then we can put in, we want it at position 0. That puts it at the top. And we'll run it again to see the final outcome. Here's the finished app with the button on the bottom after the graphics view. Our toggle button still works and everything's generated on the C# side. So I hope you guys find that helpful, and we'll see you in the next video next week.